listened to all the younger days, and we had the fortune of meeting him when he was, in his last 10 years that I've known him. And he was one of the most positive people that I've ever met. And when we first started remodeling the whole hotel, he came in as a contractor. He was like a contractor supervisor. And the contractor did not remain with us too long. However, I just saw his talents and his positive attitude, and I asked him would he stay with us. And he did. And that's where our journey began. And I think he knows every nut and bolt in this entire hotel. He does. And we've had, it's hard to put everything together for the last 10 years that we've shared. And I think I was closest to him than anybody else. And the engineering department is one of the toughest departments in this hotel. And he would constantly walk into my office, knock on the door, and that key would hear, and I still wait for this entire 2 weeks. I've been waiting for him to do that, and I don't. And it's so sad for me to just be in that position where I was so dependent on Steve for so many different things. But I know I don't think Steve ever had a bad day, and he really did. And I know sometimes I was a little tough on him, and I'm sure Carla heard all about it when he got home. But it was never any. He knew that I always wanted the best for him, and that's what it all came down to. Tell you a little story that I still remember. When we first remodeled the hotel, we had actually I had gone to an auction and bought a couple of freezers, and these are about 7 foot tall and about 60 inches wide. So he loaded them on his truck, and I think he forgot to take the casters off of one of those. So he was driving on the freeway, and believe it or not, the entire one of those pieces fell on the freeway, right in the middle lane of the freeway on Beltway 8. And I'll tell you, he not only did he go back and pick it all up, he brought it back, and it's still here in the back, and it still works. And I know he used duct tape all the time to fix. No, I'm kidding. But he did quite well. And there were so many different things I can talk about, and so many. And every morning I would come to work, and we'd be sitting out there. He had that little swagger, and he would just, say, "Michael, good to see you." And every day he had that same positive attitude. And I would see him. He'd be bussing tables in the restaurant. He'd be washing dishes. He would be doing anything that needed to be done. And everywhere he went, he was always positive. And I think a lot of our managers here, they got so close to him. We talk about family. He became our really genuinely close knit family. So this is a real honor for me to do whatever I can to help him in every which way I possibly can. And about 6 months ago, I decided to buy a limo. So he wanted to drive. His passion was to drive, and I did not know how much passion it was. And he constantly wanted to drive every time. He was always gone. So he was, he was driving here and there. And so he goes, "I really want to drive your limo." I said, "Okay, fine." So we became not only at work, spending all those hours, also on weekends or when we've been out. He constantly was became part of mine and Heather's life in taking us around. And then he's taken my daughter to proms, to everything else, and he really, really, really enjoyed doing what he did. And so in December, he came over here and he knocked on the door. Every time he would come to our house, he would knock on the door and he'd say, "Your chariot has arrived." And he said that every time, and he put so he came to my house on December 25th, and he said, "Michael, I got something for you." I said, "Okay." So I walk outside, so he put a big, my last name starts with a U, so he put a big U with a little crest of arms around. So "This is a present for you." I go, "You didn't have to do that, Steve." So I wouldn't want to make you feel special. It made me feel very, very special about that. And this is a very tough day because there's a lot of memories, a lot of and heartaches, and how do you change that, and how do you bring it up, put it all back together? And sometimes we wonder why things happen, how he was taken away from us too soon, and this is a very, very sad day. And a few years ago, I read a little poem that really made a big, deep impact on my life, and I want to kind of read that poem to you. It's the story of the Dash. You may have heard, a few maybe have heard it. "I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that the first came the date of birth and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all. was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and not only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash, the limousine. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about the long and hard. Are these things are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less too quick to anger, and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect, and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is read, what's the dash between those years? For that dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. With your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? I believe that right now Steve's looking down on all of us with a big smile, and he's very proud of his dash, and I'm very proud of him. You know, Steve came to a lot of our parties at our house, and you know, we sang karaoke and we celebrate life. And there was he's going to help me, Stephanie. And you know, he used to tell me there was a song that he used to always he used to watch me sing, and he said, "Look, this is a really special song. I want you to sing that for me every time we come to my house." And I think that I'm going to retire this song after today, and it really reminds me of, and I'm not going to take that off my playlist here. So this is a song for Steve, and it's actually Steve singing to you, Carla. Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above. For a moment, all the world was right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? Stand by, I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the day. Holding you, I held everything. For a moment, wasn't I a king? If I'd only known how the king would fall. Hey, who's to say? You know, I might have changed it all. And I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the day. Yes, my life is better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. 'Cause Goodbye, my friend. I'll miss you. I have Steve's limousine hat. He loved it so much. I have it right here. And it's his final bonus check is here too, by the way. And one last thing, you know, he remodeled our hotel so well. There's actually the very last room that we have here that was put together, which is suite number 316. It's a executive suite, and so that his name will never be forgotten. And his name, I have actually decided to name the suite as the Rutherford Suite, and that name's going to be out there. And when all of your family and friends come and visit us, please stay in the Rutherford Suite.